Right guys, tonight I'm going to tie another pike fly. So this is going to be a red and white with a grizzle side on, so it's like a hollow type fly. Going for sort of lightness of dress and not a big pile of bulk, but well, bulk of shape, but not heaviness of dress. So here we have a Sakuma Manta 545 extra. This is a 5.0, and we're going to use 200 denier gel spun to tie this. So I'm going to put the gel spun on, back and forward over itself, and then a little bit of super glue to make it stick. And you notice I'm not going right to the back here, I'm going to about level with the point of the hook. So then we're going to take a bunch of Angelina fibre. So this is a mix of red and silver, but you use whatever. It's basically just to create like a dam, a ball. And I'm putting a watery super glue on that and just letting it soak through it. That'll hold that in place. It'll give us something to flare our materials against. So first, white bucktail. And I'm going to tend to use the bits towards the base of the bucktail. They're longer, but they're also a little bit more like spinning deer hair, if you understand. So they tend to flare more and give us that sort of umbrella halo effect here. So I've cut my bunch off. I'm going to set it and allow it to splay around the hook. Put on a loose wrap, and then as I tighten that up, it should sort of splay around. Now that is going to give us our support for the rest of the tail body, and flare it out and give us like an empty center, hollow center to the fly. So next we're going to take a little bunch of flash materials. So these are sort of 8-inch long sort of bunch. You've seen me make bunches before with spools. So we have holographic silver here, a variety of different ones. So we've got a thin one, a thick one, and one that's a little bit more almost goldy tinge to it. And I'm just pulling the fibres out past each other until we get like a taper to the bunch, and then set my thumb on top, lay that down. As you can see, it's coming out here to a point. Transfer my hands, a loose wrap just in front of our bunch of the butt ends of our deer hair there. So don't worry too much about tying them. If you want to be very particular, you can do, but the whole fly is a series of flared bunches, so you'll never see the tie-in points of what went before. So we then just fold this back on itself. Hold it back, and a little bit of super glue so that doesn't slip in. You can already see that our bucktail is giving us like a fish profile here. Throwing these flash materials up and out. So next I'm going to take a bunch of Icelandic sheep hair. So I'm just going to pull the soft underwool out of that. It's no use. Level up the tag ends of that, and then I'm going to overlap that by a centimetre or so and allow it to splay around the hook. Same thing again, loose wrap on, allow that to envelop the hook. Our bunch is now the whole way around. and then we get a good few tight turns on that just to hold that down. Now, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this tie-in point here, and just allow the glue to soak in both sides of it for a little bit. And before that dries, I'm going to separate out all of this hair 360 degrees around the hook. And as the super glue sets, you can see I'm just folding it back. Take my tie-in thread through it and tie in front of it but not over it. So here again we're getting that sort of splay, that fake sense of bulk. Hold it all in. A little bit of glue. And just going to hold it in that sort of position. So it's essentially, it's a little bit like a comet in shape. So next I'm going to take a few strands of Pearl Mirage, just a crinkle mirage. I like the look of that, and glaze, it gives it sort of like almost like a scaled effect. So if we take 3 or 4 strands of that and lay it on my side but up high, so I suppose what we're going to do here is tie it in at maybe 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So once it's tied in on my side, I'm going to fold it over, wrap across the doubled part, trim it off to the same length. And that just gives us that mirage sort of pearl accent on the side of the fly there. Next is a bunch of white Predator sort of fibre Connect-Alon that we use. And I'm just misaligning the tips. So this is shorter than our deer hair, and our well, shorter than what went before, because as I said, we're trying to sort of create a taper here. So I've misaligned the tips, and I'm then going to set that on in front. Again, maybe 2/3 or so of I'm tying along there, and what went before it will support it and sort of force it out a little bit. Again, tie it in tight, splay that out a bit. Dab a super glue into the tie-in points and then fold it back on itself. At this point I'd probably squeeze that flat in this plane because I'm getting towards the head and I want my eyes to sit on that. I'm now going to add a couple of grizzle hackles, and you could use a grizzle saddle, or this is grizzle neck, up to yourself, whatever you have. If you don't have it, don't use it. So I'm going to take a feather and lay it on each side. I'm just going to cut the two of them to be the same length. Set that up on the side, slightly above the midline I suppose. And because we cut them both to the same length, when you tie them in at the same tie-in point as such, they should be matched on the fly. Just uses that nice stripe in the side of the fly. again, as with everything, secure it down, and then I'm going to take a bit of red craft fur just to finish the head. This is a good long quality sort of red craft fur. I'll take a bunch of that, and the very base of it has got short sort of woolly rubbish in it. I'm going to get rid of that. Swap that over. Again, let it envelop the shank. Tie it good and tight. Get the tie-in thread through it and finish it off. So next we're going to brush this out a little bit. So I'm going to take one of these sort of mascara brush things that I have, and I'm just going to brush that head to separate out all the fibres, giving a sort of a nice even spread around the fly. Stroke it back. I'm just going to hold it down in position, and I'm just going to glue the very front of that, and that'll set our tie-in thread, but it'll also set the head. As you can see, you get one of these sort of watery super glues out of one of the pound stores, and they sort of soak in fairly well, and they tend to heat up, and you'll get smoke coming out of it as it sets, but it sets very quickly. Okay, so that's our fly done. We just need to put eyes on it. So if you try and put the eyes on it straight away, sometimes the super glues can react with your other glues. So I have one that I made earlier to do that too. So, post-it pad and a cocktail stick. Here I've got my 2-part epoxy, although you can use other glues. And then I have the 2 parts on my post-it pad here, and then I just take the little stick and mix all that together. So for eyes here, I'm going to use a 9mm. It's like a pearl blue. Right. So we get 2 of them. Fly up on its side. Take our cocktail stick and rotate it. That'll keep the blob of epoxy on there. Then apply it to the side of the fly. We're using the point of the stick just to dig that into the bedding, or into the dubbing, sorry. And that'll give us a much more secure hold on the side of the fly. And then take my eye and stick the back edge of it in. That gives us a little lip. And then I'll repeat the process on the other side. So flip the fly over, place our blob of epoxy on, and dig it into the materials. Hopefully the idea is that somewhere in the middle a little bit of the epoxies will meet, and that will form a bond when it dries right across the center of the head. Should give for a strong finish. So now we just need to match the eyes up, push them back into position, and then I'm going to take my cocktail stick, get a little bit of the epoxy on it, and I'm just going to go around the front of the head, almost like you were varnishing a normal fly. But I don't want to get too much on here because then it'll take quite a bit of rotating, otherwise it'll go everywhere, because it does tend to run. I'm just trying to catch the front lip of my eyes and make a sort of nice even head underneath. So that's it on. So now what I'll do is, while that dries, I'll just sort of rotate it back and forward to stop it settling and creating lumps or dripping. But that is our red and white hollow fibre fly. So if you like what you see, like, subscribe, leave some comments, always helps down below. Let us know if you like it, if you don't like it. And until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.